today. But before we do that, let's do some introductions starting at this end.
This end? Hi, I'm Jeff.
Aww.
I'm Steve. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be reading chat and interrupting.
Very well, as you do. My name is Megan. I'm your community director.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I am here. Just need to adjust my pants. Sorry about that.
Oh, subtle.
I'm the creative director.
And who do we have new on the couch?
I'm Cristiano. I'm a gameplay programmer, but chaos programmer today. I'll be breaking the game a little bit later and showing you guys how augments work.
I really want that title. I want Chaos
As
Programmer.
much as you think this might be like a non-news stream, there actually is a surprising amount of news.
There is.
Oh, okay,
There
cool.
is-
Alright.
The news is newsing, but also I believe Cristiano has a Brazilian shout out perhaps?
Oh, yeah. I am Brazilian, so I've been asked to say hi to the Brazilian fans, which I'd love to do. Olá, galera. Bem-vindos ao Devstream. Eu acho que o stream de hoje vai ser bem divertido.
Whoa!
I want nothing but yeah. Where are the JAs?
Oi, Brasil!
You made them so happy.
We've had an event in Brazil once, and it was like 7 years ago. Tiago held like a 10. See, there they are. Anyway, we love you,
Awesome.
Brazil. One
Oh
day.
my
We have
God.
our Brazilian rep on the
There we
coach
go.
today. Are you going to code in Brazilian? Is that how that works?
The language,
Whoa,
the
we
language
didn't plan
is.
for that.
Firstly, the language is Portuguese.
Yeah, don't say Brazilian. That's like the worst.
No, but it's Portuguese BR. Like our
Yes,
PTBR in our local
Oh,
files.
yes.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
okay.
PTBR.
It's
Alright.
like a slight
Good
variant.
recovery.
Just
It's
like
the
there's
same
French
language.
Canadian and there's
Oui.
French.
Polynesian French.
Classic.
But no,
Classic.
I'll be coding in Lua today.
Yeah. English Lua. English Lua.
Well, Lua sounds
Yeah.
Portuguese.
Actually, I might be wrong, but I think the guys who developed it are Brazilian, right? Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Today-
Our scripting language was invented there.
Welcome to the fact
Yep.
stream.
Brazil facts.
Brazil fact.
Tune in for more.
Yep.
Coxinha, brigadeiro.
Yeah, I mean, it's food, yeah. It's really good. I'm surprised you know it, actually.
That's what I wanted to surprise you with.
Yep.
All right, a couple more
That's
housekeeping
right.
bits.
Lua is the moon in Portuguese. Yep.
We got that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Please continue. Help.
Today's Twitch drop for watching the stream is our cursed or blessing grab bag. For watching this whole stream, you can get yourself 3 kicks at the can. The third one is a guaranteed blessing. You're welcome. How do you say you're welcome in Brazilian?
De nada.
De nada. You can get your bless drop, but 2 of them will definitely perhaps be a curse or a blessing. You could have really good RNG. I'm not going to tell you what the curse things are. I can't wait for you to find out. But the blessing side of the Twitch drop is either an Aura Forma blueprint, an Elemental Vice, an Umbra Forma blueprint, or a Riven Cipher. So you could get one of
Whoa.
those bad boys in the blessing side of this bag, or you could get a curse, which if you've been playing Blueprint, you probably know all about them cursed rooms. Am I right? Am I right?
You call it blueprint now because you
I know
figured
you
it
just
out.
said blueprint. Yeah, I know.
Blueprints.
I just learned why it's called Blueprint.
Blueprints. Yes, blueprints. Yes.
Blueprints.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah,
And of course, we have our Gift of the Lotus alerts. The former Blueprint alert actually went live a little bit early, went live at noon Eastern. So if you've already done it, congrats. You have a melee arcane adapter coming at you after the stream as your other Gift of the Lotus alert. So Forma, Blueprint, and a melee arcane adapter coming at you.
I didn't know you could do random things like that.
Grab bags.
For the grab
With
bag?
the
Do
grab
you want to
bags.
wait? Don't. This is all
Some
the
of the
curse.
some of the
can't
curses.
believe this.
You're not gonna cry.
Look at that.
Say it.
Read one of them out loud.
Pick one.
One curse
The
item.
top one.
Yeah. Say it.
What is it?
2 ducats. There's some hilarious stuff
Pretty
on
good.
there. Okay,
That's
well,
hilarious.
Taylor,
good luck.
good job.
Good luck, everyone.
Taylor is the curse.
I
item.
see. I get 2 ducats crash.
It might be you. You
Oh
might
yeah,
get it. There's
2
some,
ducats. Enjoy.
there's some good stuff in there.
Bro, no.
It's along with the theme of this dev stream. We have
Yeah.
a lot of cursed fun things that Cristiano is actually going to do later on, but we also have some blessings, some fun things.
I think we got cursed
wipe
for
your
a
hand
soul
off.
frame stream.
No.
That's probably
did.
why you cursed my router that I had to destroy.
No,
Anyway,
no.
It's been blessed.
It was just an experiment.
Blessed with violence.
No. We're all here for a good time, not a long time. All right,
Excellent.
a couple
How
more
much fun can we
housekeeping.
have before we go to hell?
That's right.
That's what the shirt says.
How much fun will we have before we go to hell?
That's what the shirt says.
Let's find out.
2 ducats worth.
Let's find out.
All right, a couple more housekeeping bits before we jump into some shenanigans and some news. Our survey we have the results of the community survey that we launched, I think,
Nice.
last Devstream. We had 69,483 Sorry?
Good job, Rue.
Nothing.
Oh, bro, come on.
69,420
69,000.
people
No,
responded.
483. Honestly, I do wish that 683 of you just didn't show up, but
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, doing the math there.
Would you pick the ones?
Yeah.
pick what? The people that don't show up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We had a lot of
Anyway.
responses, and thank you so much for giving us all the data and the information. It is live on the forums. Andre, if you're listening, pop that bad boy live. But we do have, we're going to go through it today. We're going to go through it right now.
Oh, okay.
So this is just an at-a-glance look at some of the results.
I'm in
so
master
obviously we have
rank
a lot
26.
of high MR
Oh,
tenor
yeah.
with
When
us.
did you start
Wow,
playing? I
wow,
started
okay.
playing
Responses.
23.
When did you start playing? 2013.
That's
Oh,
wild.
man.
Yeah,
Sure, you guys are so
Interesting.
cute.
Yeah,
I started
that's
playing 20
amazing.
So the people that are most likely to
MR20.
respond to the survey are those
That was stuck around.
lifers. We like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have a,
A
healthy
lot of
amount
people
of
from
people the past
2013
3 or
are
4
still
years.
We
sticking
do.
around,
Yes,
which
we
is
do.
pretty
It's
good.
wonderful.
It's a nice look.
Oh,
I'm one of those.
50% of people give us a good rating.
Give us the good rating. We got the
right.
good.
We got
I've
rated
never
good.
left
Put
a
that on
rating.
the cover art. We
I
have
should,
next
maybe.
one, Rue, if you don't mind. Which one of these activities do you regularly play? Archon Hunt took the cake on that one.
Interesting.
I do a lot of sorties. I don't really
I can
like
see how the
Archon
sortie
Hunt
would have
or the
fallen behind
Duviri
'cause it
circuit.
only really has ribbons
I've
for
only done
people.
the circuit once.
legendary
I've done
one.
Archon Hunt a couple of.
You know how coveted that
I've
bad
never.
boy
I don't
had
even know
one,
what
so I-
EDA or ET.
Interesting. Archon Hunt, I guess, with like the reliable shard
That's the
color,
body
yeah,
thing.
probably the most.
And we added more shard color, so it's just like
Yeah,
But I
that's
do
true.
a lot of
the
swords.
shards are sharding.
Interesting.
I play Steel
Come
Path. I like Steel
on,
Path.
everyone
Better
grow
league.
up.
It was said
It is Freaky Friday.
It is Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
How important is
I
Steel Path?
correct them.
Ooh, a lot important.
A lot important. How much you interact with the helmet system? Pretty.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, we like it. I mean, Archon Shard goes with Helmet system, so it's kind
True.
of like a one-on-one. Pinning on the Kim
Oh,
system,
that's good.
Oh.
love. You guys are enjoying it, and that's
I
great.
use it.
That is great.
This one blew my mind, and we had to do a lot of soul searching to figure out
Boss fights?
why the Aura
I like the
Worm
Aura
was the
Worm.
most
That's right.
enjoyed boss fight. And like we had, because we
I've
thought
done
like,
it-
oh, well maybe people would like the tank.
did it for
because
the
well, the tank's
weapon.
second, right? But like the Aura Room, like
Eidolon,
obviously
I like
it's
Eidolon.
a newer boss, so we were trying to
Yeah.
figure out like what
Fragmented.
what about it
I
would
don't
give
know.
it top slot.
That-
And did you come to a conclusion?
We
But once
have
I got the
some
standing
theories, but
there
obviously feel
5,
free to
I
tell us
haven't been-
why.
Why worm?
Because big monster.
Gopololis is a fun fight.
Because big.
It has a very cool,
Sacco,
violent
no.
intro,
It does,
right?
it
Like
does.
it's
Yeah.
just
But then,
like,
and then
I
it
like
has
the
that
fight.
soft ending where you give it a little
Optic
kiss
tick.
and then it flies
Yeah.
away. Oh.
Yeah, it does.
Z-Lord, I hate it. Hate the
Maybe that's
Z-Lord.
why.
Yeah, I would
Violet.
be curious. Obviously, people who answered this in good faith can tell us why.
Why worm?
It's beautiful, has the best sound effects.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 To the left.
Yeah, I see a lot of people
Really
actually
deserves
dislike
where he
All over my
deserves to
heart.
be.
Tweak it.
Poor guy.
Aw.
He's not loud enough?
And how much do you enjoy these
You're
bosses?
panting in the mic. Little, yep.
Steel Do we need you? Do we need a CPAP?
I
for
just
you?
took lots of smoke.
Actually, you did.
Maybe it's the smoke inhalation. Yeah.
All
right.
Open world, would you like to return to the most Duviri?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very interesting. Maybe the emotions
like Duviri.
really resonate with everyone. It is a very beautiful place.
It is.
I probably would say one of the most beautiful.
The whole world is beautiful.
Nah, it's
I think I did do the
world is
survey. I just don't remember.
that's not,
Should you open your heart and soul to love?
that's not true. Okay, Bert. What do you look forward to the most in a new Nightwave, new cosmetics?
Cool.
Classic.
Nice.
Classic.
Yeah.
We're going to maybe show you some of
Yes,
those.
we are.
Tune in.
Oh, cool.
I mean, wait. Which of these would you add to Omnia Fissures? Different missions that currently are not represented. The cake was Disruption.
Interesting.
Disruption will be
Lua
fine. I like mirror defense.
Specifically, Lua. Which Warframe without deluxe
Oh
skin?
my God! Come on!
Dante has a
What's that?
But that wasn't in the survey.
I know.
Dante has a
So
deluxe
when
skin
did that
come.
come?
This is rigged.
Where did that come from?
You asked.
And I stand by it being a good question.
And Andre delivered.
What the hell,
From that,
man?
From that dev short alone, we
What
got these
the
stats.
hell?
Okay,
First of all,
Bugstep
I get it. You want your
What?
Dante skins. Who doesn't? Social features are kind of like middle of the
Don't
pack. I
remember
see
that.
that. We
I
haven't
think I
really
did
like
do the
invested
survey.
in them aggressively.
Yeah, we add, every decorations really now and then, but in terms of like the actual functionality features of them,
Yep.
not too much has changed, but good to know that maybe you guys could want those. And can bugs get pregnant? What?
Put it up to a
What?
Yeah. I thought you were pointing at him to answer the question. Yeah. Can they? Can they?
I'm not an entomologist. I'm not entirely sure, but I think.
I don't know if they
They
can.
reproduce somehow, right?
Well, like they lay eggs, man.
Right. But
You
you're,
wouldn't-
you're
you-
asking if the egg gets fertilized after it's laid or
Yeah, but you
before it's
wouldn't
laid.
call a bird pregnant if it laid an egg. It would lay an egg that was fertilized. It doesn't get pregnant with a fertilized egg.
bird can lay an egg with
This
them.
is true. I mean, I actually don't know what like formally it's called.
I believe that I have no idea, so I'm just going to live my life. Please move on.
I just wanted you to keep going.
No.
Excellent. Finish the sentence. In 2025, I want Debs to focus more on a word
Bugs?
cloud.
Like pregnant bugs? Like
Okay.
be specific,
I think I
chat.
said lore and order.
You see what's on our mind, so be specific. Endgame.
Endgame.
Lore, boss, reworks, new player experience.
What they enjoy.
Oh, that's nice.
Polish.
Themselves? Polish? You want us? Dzień dobry.
Or is that Polish?
They want us to go to
I
Poland.
know. I'm just kidding, Rue.
Well, how would we
Your
know?
favorite
How
talk?
would
Oh,
we
what's
know?
up?
Bugs? They want. They want.
I like how themselves is an
Isn't
answer.
that
That's actually
That's
so
very
cute.
What's good? What's
Very
good?
nice.
Focus on themselves.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, this is a
Like
good
the
list.
earliest I-
Yeah.
That is
That
a
is
good fun. Well, I hope we can do that for you.
It's a good bucket of things. And
I
last but not least, what is something Warframe should explain or introduce better?
Interesting.
I don't know if I can see that one. It's
Warframe lore, Oricon.
It's kind of doubled there. It's kind of.
But this I put
It's
orders.
quadruple.
I don't even see that zone up there at all.
If you look really carefully, you can see modding right
Mod.
there.
And there's actually
Mods.
actually
mod build.
I see
It's really small. You can't really
Mod
see it unless you
build.
focus.
Mods.
So what you're saying is we don't need to explain the mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys get it, right?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yep.
You got it. You got it.
Modding is so easy to understand.
It is. Modding is
Okay, so I think if we don't do something with modding this year, we are
We failed.
officially.
Yeah.
Chat's also laughing at.
Progress update of the
I'm-
in-game version
uh,
of Kalervo. So let's jump on over to the dev build.
It looks
Oh
tough.
my god.
Kalervo Apostate. Oh.
The Kalervo Apostate skin is coming soon.
Probably
sooner
gonna
than you
cop
might
schedule
think,
one
but
today
I don't
though. I
think
want to
give a
start
date
playing
yet.
that game.
But it is coming quite soon, and it is just absolute.
Oh, is there like fluid moving in the tubes too?
Yeah, so they gave an energy channel
Oh, yeah,
on
cool.
the
And his hair.
what we're calling the
the
Oricon
hair's
Duviri hair, but
Yep.
it's just like
That's
it came out
tough.
so well. It's so well done.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and if you just hit random a few times, I don't know why. Get us some. Yeah, it is. The chains, he has the manacle on the one ankle because, of course, he's a criminal with his 7 crimes. Really, really, really beautiful piece. Very, very excited for Kalervo players to finally get a
I like the drawing, the
looks for
2D
their-
drawing more
their
though.
criminal, I guess.
That's right.
I like the IO
But it does look tough.
That was cool.
But you have something else to show.
I still don't have
That's right.
Kalervo though.
As we can see, he is, displaying some very strong shoulder pieces here.
Farming
Do
resources
you
in
think he has
Duviri is
strong
annoying.
shoulders under the shoulders?
No.
Well,
definitely
he's
not.
wrong.
Oh my god.
Oh
I've
my
never been more
God.
wrong.
Look at those.
Look at that.
Wow, that's
triceps.
clean. That's clean.
Look at.
Looks
Digging
weird.
that,
Isn't that
actually.
awesome?
I love the
Isn't
shoulders,
that
but this is
insane?
cool
It
too.
looks like
God.
It is.
What's those
Yeah,
aliens?
it is a special,
called?
special skin.
Yep, beautiful.
How do we say beautiful?
Predators? The Predator aliens?
You can say bonito.
Bonito.
You ever watch Alien
Wait,
vs
like
Predator?
Bonita?
He kind of looks like
Yeah,
that.
but bonita is
For
like
girls.
Girly.
for a girl. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
That's no girl.
girl.
That's a man.
That's a man.
That's bonito.
Okay, settle down over there. Settle down.
What's the problem?
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for backing me up.
weird.
And we're going to show you a few of them. It's, again, dev build, work in progress. Brew, come on back.
Oh.
So, yes, we have the Arca Triton Raya skin. And we'll slowly make our way over there.
I could stand there and hold our hammer like that.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
You're good. You stay right
could do
where
that
you are.
too,
You're,
even.
you stay right where you
That sword put you in a mood. So.
are. For violence. So Arca Triton lovers will enjoy that. We do have a new Parallax skin. Look
Oh. You could put Kaya in the Raya.
at it. Oh, isn't that nice? Little cutie patootie skin. We do have some new weapon augments that are coming in this. No sympathy, I know you're watching, so you want me to hover over them, but I won't because they're still work in progress.
Don't do it.
Pain
Pain points. They named a mod after Steve.
Oh, come on.
Aw. We also have the
What does that
Raya
even
Sigma
mean?
Cyandana. House of Sigma represent.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
And then we have your Burstin lover, the Burstin Raya
Oh
skin.
my god, that's a throwback.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it brings it back.
Okay.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
Yep.
then
It fires bursts.
Yeah, that's why. Was that a
So,
Jacques special?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, it fires in burst, therefore burst.
a classic. And then we have the Raya Aurora ephemera.
Oh my God! The bokeh effect.
Whoa.
Very cute, very cool. And then it's
That
not
looked
hooked
really
up
cool.
in
Almost
this
looked photographic.
screen, but
cool.
the piece de resistance at the end of that is a Zaku skin,
Oh.
which I will.
Oh. Do you have?
Ooh.
Are you farming your aura right now?
My aura is Riz Skibbity Toilet.
Oh my God!
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. So this is the Zaku Raya helmet and skin. Obviously, you can
Rain
make
rot. That looks tough though.
Oh, so cool.
It is very cool.
Like
I do
that.
have the ephemera on, which is what is giving the effects. You can take it off and just really,
Wow.
Both are really cool.
Yeah.
So, wow.
really get a good
Super
look.
That's incredible.
I've never seen a Warframe skin in the
Zaku
Nightwave
is,
before.
kinda
That's pretty
awesome.
tough.
So if you
They
haven't
are.
invested in
That's pretty tough.
the walking turret,
Really nice.
get your Zaku.
I didn't even finish it.
Ready? So Rue, come on down. First, my sweet baby, the Archoplasma.
And Intrati come on.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't think I have the Archoplasma.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever
Yeah,
grinded
the
that.
Arcosolium Archoplasmor skin by Apollo.
When it comes to
Phoenix.
Warframe weapons, I like
Good
the
work.
bows
That
and
is very exciting if you are.
I don't
a
know what's up with them with the
Archoplasmor
Yep.
Friday.
Yep.
lover like myself.
Yep. Bam, bam.
And then continuing the
It's probably because of the trailer for the new
series.
Freaky Friday movie
Yes, we
coming
have
out with the original
Jotunheim
cast.
Whip skin by MZ3.
I think that's the only
classic.
reason why they're throwing it around so much.
Looking
Gorgeous.
very gorgeous.
Your enemies won't know what hit them.
No. And then we have the
A new emo?
Arax chest armor and leg armor by Lex 182.
No, that's
and
the Tenokon emo.
Or said maybe 00. So you can get your. Look at that.
Incredible.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then we get into
Nice.
some operator cosmetics here.
A new mask?
The Eternalia Tower Operator Oculus by Ventral Hound.
That's incredible. It's very, very 40K.
No,
Totally.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's
no
cool.
one needs vision.
Nope.
Yep.
You can see.
Seeing is cringe.
Thank
I
you.
would never
Thank
wear
you,
that.
Thank you. Big cringe. But wouldn't you like
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Wouldn't
There you go.
to
I wear-
have
I
this
wear- I-
drip? This is
Yep.
the Steigen Drifter glasses by
I like glasses like-
Theron
I have a
Drex and
lot.
Viney's, who is a first timer.
Nice.
It's good.
It is good.
It's real
Oh,
good.
circle lenses are just dope
Go
to
through
me.
the glasses, right?
Ah, you said it,
Oh,
Christiana, not
you
me.
Freaking schemers.
You said it, not me. Ah, it's our boy.
Who's that muscular thing I see there?
Muscle Mommy, we have the Hildren
Hey.
Sarcostemma skin by
Cool.
Ventral Hound.
It looks like an infested
girl.
Hildren's.
Amazing.
I'm getting a little almost cordyceps kind of vibe. from
Yes.
this, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see.
Okay,
with, like,
last
the
of
Yeah.
pustules.
Yeah.
That's.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
I don't even use
The
Hildren in
rhinoceros horns, as we were talking about.
Yeah. More rhino horns than rhino's
So
horns.
cool.
Yeah, but there's two of them,
True.
so it's more like a, I don't know,
Yep.
a carapace of some type of insect that is not pregnant.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
And-
What? I'm sorry. I'm also reading the Warframe chat, and they're just
And actually,
they're
last
all
year
just
is when
talking
we kinda
real
opened up
thirsty.
to the Entrati theme of cosmetics for Tenogen, let people kind of experiment with that. And it wasn't intended to have kind of an Entrati looking vibes, but there were so many really good ones. So we have kind of like an Entrati themed Tenogen stuff coming up, which is really cool for
awesome.
Tenogen. So love to see her. Show me this great asset, would you? Who is
Hi,
that?
Minerva.
Who is that? Few of the things coming in this interim sort build. One you've already perhaps heard about because we've talked about it for the past couple weeks is in your Archimedia menu. So when you're talking to Kaya or Lloyd,
Yeah, it's a necroloid. specific.
Necroloid.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, wait. You can swap your. I can actually show you.
She's realizing real time.
I can.
But
show
as
you.
you're going there,
I
I'll
love
read.
this. You're just like, you know
so-
what? I'm
From
gonna just do
Archimedes
it.
I love
menu,
I'm a visual
Arsenal,
learner.
I like it.
quality of
I like
We
life,
have some
broader
general
Warframe
Arsenal
weapon
QL
cat.
coming. We have that universal
searching
Gemini emote that we talked about last
Search
dev
mods.
stream
Show all
that
this.
Jeff said. Well, I'm.
Vara concentrated
that.
All right,
arrow
come on
augment chain.
over.
So you can see here, I have my loadout that it wants me to use. And let's say I want to do Protea. I can go right over here, swap out my Kalervo for Protea Prime, and just rock it that way and do it here so you don't have to keep going in and out of your menus.
Yeah, you don't need to
I don't know,
remember.
Protea. I always pronounced her
Love it.
Protea.
You don't need to think. You don't need to try. This is what we want.
Yeah. Zero brain energy.
Don't think or try.
Don't think or
Think
try.
or try.
That's how I was raised.
That's good. No, that's great. I love it.
And then you can go back to the, yeah, thanks, Rue. And then we have, as you were saying, the Arsenal QOL, which I will show a little bit of here. So this one is 3 parts. One of them is the Warframe and weapon swap screen now features curated categories. So if we go to swap for our Protea here, we can see that we can perhaps look per Warframe at kind of the ones that we have a selection for. Maybe we want a support frame. Maybe we want a survival frame. I don't think that's
Now,
hooked up.
we do know that the categorization of these archetypes are not perfect. We did a best appropriateness per given role, because Warframe really isn't like a tank heavy, like it's not a tank, it's
They
not
have multiple roles. It's
Is
not
there a
just
pregnant tab? Could we have like one tab for any Warframes that are pregnant, maybe?
Anyways,
Pregnant Warframe, and that's
one of the actual motivations behind this quality of life was we got a lot of feedback about specifically for snipers actually. And when you would search snipers in this, you would get things like bows. And some people know that the reason behind that is because it was using sniper ammo, so the game was like, oh, I'll show you a bow. But in true fashion, a bow is not a sniper. If you want it to be, it could be. So now we have some better functionality for that. And they
Why do you have so many electrons?
search? If I were to search sniper here, I'm not going to get a bow. I'm going to get our actual sniper situation.
That's better.
Which was
That's better.
a lot of the feedback from this. And there's a part 2 coming that
Why is
I shouldn't
Ambas-
yet,
Ambassador's
but
a
essentially
sniper?
is including a label in the tooltips or store pages. So if you were to look into a store and look at a gun, it would tell you
I
it's a
have
sniper,
that
et cetera, and you would kind of be able
Ambassador.
to, purchase that
Yeah,
whatever you wanted to, kind of a thing.
nice.
I think it's great because you give
Maybe
us
I'm tripping.
feedback of like explain more things, and I think this is part of that.
Yes.
Like it's a step in that,
Nervous
in
weren't-
that direction.
Yes, our
I remember
CEO
that
left
being
us
on-
with modding unexplained, so
Oh my god.
so now we have
Oh
to now
my
we have to do
God.
we have to look into the mind, the dark twisted mind of CEOs.
Oh my god.
What is modding? Who?
Why is modding?
Can it be pregnant? We have included in that sniper is improved search and consistency.
Pregnant
of
Milk
this
has
kind
been
of
running
clearing up, so
around for
confusion
like
around that.
3
And
years
then,
now into Warframe.
search mods on stat click. So if you were to click a actual stat within
Was it-
your loadout,
or is it
would
two-
suggest to you that
2 years
you
ago
could
on
use
a
this mod for it. That it would help with the damage or etc. stuff like that. So that is coming as well as part of the QOL. And then, as Reb mentioned, we do have the
That's like
universal
mods get-
Gemini emote. So currently, if you're a Gemini collector and you want to have them all at your disposal, you would have all of these in your wheel, which can get a little overwhelming. Instead, you can just use the Gemini emote. Let me actually put a true
And this is what
girl
Jeff
on.
recused himself from last dev stream.
true.
But now we have it
true.
roughed in for this dev stream. So it takes about a month
Someone's
to make an emote.
Oh come on.
If Jeff's,
Yeah.
So if I have Saren on and say I have the Minerva skin, instead of having to have
Right
the
mouse.
Minerva skin equipped, I can just use the universal emote and it'll automatically pair me up. Mother.
Cool.
very
Mother.
nice.
Yeah, so that's coming as well. And then we do have some changes to Archon shard removal costs. This is really, players often found themselves running out of bile because it all costs bile to change your Archon shards up. So we're going to use different secretions. Isn't that a fun word? Different
This
secretions.
is a Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
It is a Freaky Friday.
People are having a drinking game every time you say that, by the way.
Same what?
Pregnant?
Freaky Friday?
This is Yeah. a freaky
Oh,
Friday.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, guys.
there's a drinking game.
Oh.
They're wasted right
Hopefully
now.
water.
Yeah.
Water.
Minerva
Yeah.
can drink you under the table.
Yeah, everyone's drinking. Cheers.
And then as well, normal shards are going to cost half as much to uninstall. So right now they cost the same as doing a Tau Forged one, so now it will be cut in half. So you will have to pay less for
Excellent.
uninstalling a normal shard. And then as well, we have some additions to the arbitration store. This is essentially any of the reward rotations from the arbitration have been put into the store for Vitus Essence. So the things like the arcanes, the mods, and the seeding step ephemera you can now purchase with your Vitus Essence instead of having to kind of
All right.
work for it. Now you can just pay for it. Look at you. Look at you. And as well, we have some changes to the Ivara Concentrated Arrow Augment. The kind of goal behind this was to make the Concentrated Arrow better as both a single target depleter and a status dispenser. So we have things like applying status effects. The AoE Explosion can apply some status effects, and the fully charged arrow has increased crit chance. things like that. There is going to be a very small line of sight check beyond 5 meters. So if you have enemies around you, it doesn't really matter. Anything beyond 5 meters will have a small line of sight check. Right, Cristiano? Blame him! No, he actually didn't do it.
No, I didn't.
He didn't do it.
He's like, oops, I forgot to
Yeah.
implement that.
But he knows of it. He
Just that
knows
they
of
made
it.
the line of sight better so that they could do it.
That's right.
There you
that's
go.
right.
There you go.
And then we have a little bit of a Dedicant health reduction. Again, we got community feedback that the Dedicant has pretty chunky health, so we've just done a little bit of a reduction, and you can tell us how that feels when it does go live. And then a very exciting one, which you might be able to clock here.
The sunglasses have
The
arrived.
sunglasses have arrived. Was this a... Hold on, let me go to a...
It was in some marketing art we did with the intention to ship it at launch, but it needed to be separated out and rehooked up. But never mind.
Oh.
I have no idea where she was
I'm just stressing about the time because I have to make a long dinner and it's already 2:40 and we haven't even done the schemes.
I'm sorry.
We have to rush.
You didn't tell me that you had a deadline.
I do. I have to make a big
You
dinner.
didn't tell me you had a deadline.
What's for dinner?
I'm making a very special meal.
You know what is a special meal? Feeding the children.
It's almost creepy the way you said that.
Feeding the children.
It's like Hannibal. You're making a special meal
You're
like
invited,
Hannibal
Jeff.
Lecter.
All right, okay.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
If you prefer your sunglasses up or down on Minerva, you now have the auxiliary choice to do so.
She looks great in the screen. It's so cool. Oh, yeah. I like that.
There you go.
Yep.
Up or down,
Oh,
that's your
that's
choice.
awesome.
Isn't it?
The shades.
It's
Isn't it?
hilarious.
There you go. Up or down.
Yep.
And then just a little note, the 1999 demo is leaving soon. So if you haven't played yet, if maybe this is your first stream, you're new, you haven't played 1999, there's a demo available for you. But it will be going away with this interim cert build that we are launching. So get your free sword if you haven't yet with the 1999 demo. All right.
Okay, thank you.
That was a good spiel, though.
It
That
was.
that was very good.
I just
I was impressed.
could not. I looked at the time and I started panicking. I have to braise my pork for 2 hours.
You should have done this before. I didn't
That's
know
all
there was
you'll
pork
know.
to be braised.
I have to braise the pork.
All right, speaking of braising pork, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Damn rude! Just going right into it. Wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it be nice? This is the dream stream.
Pretend you're having a fever dream.
It's a dream stream. This is for all of you out there that can't imagine kissing the protoframes.
You'll never be able to do this. This is just for fun.
You lack the power of imagination, so we will give you everything
Oh,
you could
yeah.
ever want.
Yeah, just hold on to this memory.
You just made this to rub it in their face? That they can't do this?
Yeah,
It's Freaky
it's
Friday.
dev build.
I don't. Oh,
It's
man.
still built.
I think this makes it hurt more.
Yeah.
Like
No.
now it could have.
Now they
now
can-
you see what it could have
Next.
been.
They can daydream.
They
Wouldn't
can
you like to
daydream.
daydream about this?
Kinda. Sunglasses on though.
So obviously we didn't make cinematics for them, but we can replace the actors. Like this is Eleanor's, but we can throw
Whoever,
Minerva,
whatever, we
whatever
want
there.
on there.
So we're just showing you what could never be.
That's right.
I think people got that from the Kubro.
That's right, actually.
Yeah.
The Kubro one.
Did they?
And the motorcycle.
Can we kiss Zeke? We could make it happen. I won't, but that's what the dev build offers.
That's actually what the rest of the stream is. Whatever you ask.
this is just smooch, 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 smooch.
Not whatever you ask. Whatever you ask within reason.
reason.
Cristiano has limits.
Yeah.
Cristiano has limits.
Within
go.
reason.
This is like getting into like love and deep space territory right now, isn't it?
Just you
I
wait.
had nothing to do with
Just
it.
you wait.
Oh no.
Our
Oh.
last
Just
one.
you wait.
Oh, no.
Our last one for the kissing.
Okay, you got me. I
Alright.
did not expect
Yeah.
this. And it makes sense. Oh my
It was
god.
all, it
Oh my
was all
god.
for this.
This.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, Lizzie!
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh,
it's so good.
There you go.
That was a good setup.
That
was a good
was
setup.
very good.
You wanted more endgame from that survey.
Yeah.
This is what you get. All right, Cristiano, take the wheel.
All right.
all right. So yes, as Megan said, we're going to be doing an augment for Caliban. The first thing I want to do is hit you guys with a couple of disclaimers, mostly just to cover my own behind. But this is just going to be a prototype. It's not going to make it into the final game in this exact state, and it's just really being done quick and dirty for the stream, so you might see me do some pretty abominable things. The next one is that this is my first time doing kind of live programming on stream, so if it's chaotic, that's par for the course. All right, so let's just get into it. First, we know it's going to be for Caliban's 1, so let's just try it out on enemies to kind of like get a refresher of what it does. For those of you who are Caliban enjoyers, this is nothing new. You spin around kind of Beyblade style, just hit everything, and you apply Tau status, do Tau damage to enemies. You also heal, regain some shields and energy for the enemies you hit. Cool, so I'm going to go right into the upgrade screen. I've taken the liberty of setting up the augment card already because this process is kind of boring. But
Hey!
it is. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick aside about like how this process happens. Like augments don't just appear. So usually what happens is that there'll be like a week or so of design discussions and brainstorming for like what kind of augments would be fun to do for a given update. And then the cool ideas, we talk to Pablo about them and see if he kind of likes where they're going. And if he does, we'll try it out. We'll start the prototyping and fun finding portion of the process. So here we have one, and the spec we have you'll see is very vague. It says, now groups enemies you hit. Ortholist summons will launch coordinated strikes on grouped enemies. Okay, sure. Let's start cooking it up.
Easy.
The very first thing I usually do is I'll go into the script editor.
Steve is excited.
I'm getting excited now. We're
Is it
showing
in
code.
Lua too?
Yep.
This is your people's scripting.
Yes, it is actually.
It literally is true,
I
which is
know.
such a strange
Okay,
thing.
so the very first thing I'm going to cover is kind of what I have open here. On the left, I have Site, which is our script editor. And then here I have like the resource browser where you can kind of browse all the types in the game and all the different like data resources that we have. And then I have the property window, which lets you edit data on those types. So I'm going to open Sentient Whirlwind in this just for a little later. The Sentient Whirlwind ability is Caliban's 1. But yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. So for now, I just want to talk a bit about what Lua even is and what I'm doing over here. So every ability in Warframe has a Lua script that kind of governs how it functions. We have kind of a number of different things that these scripts can do, but yeah, like generally speaking, you have the script for the ability, and then you will do some extra logic when you have the augment equipped. So what I'm going to first do is, just to not complicate you guys with all this stuff, I'm going to paste in the spec so that we can talk about it and break it down a bit. So like I said before, it groups the enemies you hit, and the summons launch coordinated strikes on the enemies. So this very first part I absolutely love because it means I can do my favorite thing in the whole world, which is copy my own homework, because Inaros does the exact same thing. So
Don't reinvent the wheel,
Copy
people.
my own homework.
I'm gonna show you guys real quick, if you don't play Inaros, what he does, but it literally is this. So he already spins around, and then he groups enemies at the very end. So we're just kind of loading the type real quick, but there it is. So yeah, spin at the very end of it, and dump the enemies down. He does this extra thing where they stay ragdolled for a little while. I don't think we need to do that. We kind of want to keep that unique to Inaros. So we're just going to do Caliban's logic exactly like that, but without the ragdoll extension at the end. All right, so the next part of this I think is a little bit more complicated. It says Ortholist summons will launch coordinated strikes on the grouped enemies. That can mean a number of things, but kind of like as it is, the Ortholists on Caliban, they'll kind of be a little lost if you start like taking enemies all the way around the level. They just kind of will shoot at them, but you'll be like dragging them around. They'll miss. So you'll kind of get in your own way. Something to avoid this, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to try teleporting the Ortholists around that clump of grouped enemies when we're done. So like you can imagine, I group the enemies up, and then in the little triangle around them, I put the Ortholists deployed so that they can just lay into the enemies. And to that same effect, I'm going to want to force deploy them. The Caliban enjoyers among you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Ortholists have these two states, one where they're like moving around like a normal sentient, and then another one where they like lock in and really like start to do serious damage.
Cool.
This mode is like much cooler, so I think it'll be a really kind of good use of it to have them arrayed around in that mode, just laying waste to the group guys. So that's going to be my next step. I'm just kind of leaving a to-do list for myself here at the top so that I can see where I'm at. And then the very last thing I want to do, and the part that Pablo will probably be mad at me for, is buffing the Ortholists at the end.
Yes, yes.
Because, I don't know, they shoot so slow, and Caliban's kit applies so much Tau status. And this year it puts status chance vulnerability on the enemies, right? So like they're supposed to take more status effects, but then Caliban doesn't have any inherently like damaging status or other status than Tau. So you need something to cash in on what you're doing with Tau, and I think sticking a forced proc like electricity for all those grouped enemies to arc between each other is going to be fire. So that's what I'm going to start doing. The very first part I'm going to do is just this here, and then I'll walk you through it. To save Rebecca's brazing, I'm going to just copy paste some snippets in here, and then I'll talk about what it is that I do in each snippet.
Save the pork.
Yeah. So
You got time.
let me check out the file quickly. Always important. This kind of makes it so our versioning system understands that I'm making changes.
And this will be on the test chat, so make sure you're paying attention.
Okay, so the very first thing I'm just going to explain is I really haven't changed much. I've just added a couple blocks to activate ability and deactivate ability. What are those functions? So basically every ability in the game has an activate ability function. This runs, you guessed it, when the ability gets activated. So you press the input for the ability, and then the ability runs, and it does all this logic here. So all I've added here is this block that basically just checks for the presence of the augment. So like it does augment 1 if the augment level is greater than 0 and the augment type is augment 1. And then if do augment 1, we create the augment tornado. What this does is it takes your instigator avatar and it attaches a tornado type. Okay, well, I'm going to take a step back and say what the hell is an instigator avatar. Basically, it's you, like your person, the entity that you're piloting around the level. And also, just as a note, avatars are kind of like the physical representation of an individual in space. So like these guys are all avatars. I am an avatar. But that's distinct from suit, because the suit is like what I'm wearing, like my Warframe. So I'm a dude and I'm wearing Caliban right now. I can go in here and I can just change who I'm wearing. So Caliban really is a weapon. He's
This
just
is
like
not
my melee weapon.
This is not canon lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a dude.
I am wearing Calvin, wearing a suit.
This is canon for the engine, not for like.
it's code canon.
Yeah.
I am a dude. wearing a dude.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we create the augment tornado, we attach it, and then we do some configuration here. So basically I set ourselves as the instigator, the damage instigator for the tornado, so that we don't damage ourselves or our allies. I set the damage to 0 because the script already does damage in other ways, and we just want to use this for CC. And then I set the length and width dimensions of the tornado so that it scales with the radius of the ability. So if it gets bigger, you put more range mods on, the tornado gets bigger. I'm really quickly going to talk about what the hell this augment tornado type is. I've just kind of glazed over it. But yeah, see, this line doesn't really help you either because it just says augment tornado type equals type. Nice. So it actually is really nice. I'm gonna explain why. Because when you put a type like this at the top of a file, our editor picks it up as something that is going to be data-driven. And now what data-driven means is that the script itself doesn't like concretely say you have to use this specific type. You can just click on the ability here in the resource browser and then set any old type you want to do. So in this case, I want to copy exactly what we do for Inaros. So I'm just, oh, that's not cool.
Uh-oh. Is it thinking?
I think it's just transitioning between screens. It kind of got lost. It lost the plot.
It's
Oh, it's
So-
only partially.
Yeah, I'm just going to click on it over here.
We believe in you.
yes.
I'm just typing in storm black hole, which is exactly what we use for Inaros. And you'll see that here because like it's literally in the path. It says /Sandman/storm black hole. Sandman is it's Inaros, obviously.
That's
So-
our pre-naming
Yeah, our
convention.
pre-naming
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, literally just copying his homework once again. Okay, so that's the create augment portion of it. The destroy augment part is also kind of interesting. So I'll talk about that next. Just like the activate ability, there's a deactivate ability function, which is the sister function that runs when the ability activation ends. So this is like when you press the button, you call activate ability. When he stops spinning, deactivate gets called. Awesome. Here we do the exact same check as above, like 1-to-1, and then if the augment's there, we destroy the tornado. In this one here, we do just a tiny bit more than destroying the tornado. We grab it, we grab every single avatar that's touching it. So like, I just explained what an avatar is, so all those guys, we grab them, we run a couple checks, we make sure they're not dead, we make sure they're actually enemies, because you don't want to do this to your buddies, we make sure that they're not immune to being pushed or pulled, like don't affect the Eximus units with it, and then we dump them on the floor. So this is basically like the yeet at my feet function. You clear the velocity that they had before because they were spinning and you don't want them to keep spinning, you want them to just be yeeted at the feet. So then you go and calculate that impulse direction. I have given a target position here that's exactly what we use for Inaros, which is just the instigator avatar's current position, so this will go right to your feet. So honestly, we're pretty good to try this out. Hopefully everything just works.
Well, if it doesn't, we know who to blame.
Okay. So yeah, they're kind of getting grouped up when I touch them, and yeah. I kind of don't like it right now though, because it groups them around me, and I can't move. I've kind of hard CC'd myself here.
That's so funny.
So
Oh
I'm
my
going to make
God.
a really, really small adjustment where I just take this target position and I add my instigator avatar forward vector. And then I just multiply that by 4. I'll probably make this value here data-driven or at the top of the file at least so that some designer doesn't come knocking on my door saying, hey, how do I make them go farther forward? But for now, this should just work. And you see they get grouped in front of me.
Cool.
Rather than at my feet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Actually, maybe 5 is a little bit cooler, honestly.
Yeah, 5.
Cinco.
It's a big clump of dudes. All right,
Can
yeah,
you try
so
50?
you want me to do
just
50?
Do 50.
I want to see something break.
Yeah, just
Okay.
do 50. Let's start.
So can I ship it?
Yes.
No.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's pretty wicked though.
Yeah, okay, so
think
now
you
we have
threw
the
some of the
grouping logic
level.
working. So I'm just going to go back up to the little tasks I've laid out for myself here because I have short-term memory loss. And I'm going to just do these next 2 steps in one go. So teleporting the ortholiths around the clump of dudes and then force deploying them. This is just to put them in an ideal position where I know they'll be effective. All right, so I have another snippet in here just for some time saving. All right, let's try this. Let me just talk quickly. I'll pick up where we left off. Destroy augment tornado. This function has barely changed. All I've added is a little variable initially set to false called should teleport summons. The reason it's initially set to false is because we should only ever teleport them if we hit somebody with the yeet at my feet action. If we didn't hit anybody with this, we don't need to teleport our summons because they're probably off doing something else that's far more important and they don't need to be teleported around willy-nilly. So we set it to true the second we hit anybody. And then if it is true, we call this new function called teleport summons. Now, it looks kind of intimidating, but realistically, all I do here is I ask the third ability, Caliban's summon ability, hey, can you give me a list of all the summons, please? Because I need to do stuff to them. So that's what this get summon data function is. It's a really simple thing I've just set up here that asks that ability for that list. Then I set up some values that I'm going to use for like position finding, so like where to teleport the guys. Right here I ask for the AI director because I'm going to do some stuff that I'll explain later, and then I do offset distance. This is kind of like how far from that center clump we want the guys to be, and then I calculate some directional vectors that I'm going to use down below. All right, so then we just make sure we loop through each one of the summons, and we say, okay, so for each one of these guys, make sure they're valid, they still have some duration left on them, and
Some of their coding
that they're
language
actually
is-
the ortholiths because we don't care about anybody else.
What do you have for
Then we
ortholiths?
make the first guy be offset
It is so
forward,
we don't
make his offset
affect the
direction forward
instigator
vector,
or-
the second guy's offset to the left, and then the third guy's offset to -1 times the left, which is just the right. We also print a little error in case we have 4 ortholists because you never know.
What do you mean we have 4 ortholiths?
Yeah, so then after that, we just actually do the math for the teleport position and rotation. The rotation here is just to make sure that they're looking at the clump of guys and not the opposite way, because that would be a little awkward. And the very last thing I want to talk about before we teleport them is we try to find a nice spot for them on the nav mesh. Now, the nav mesh is actually just this kind of simplification we have of the level geometry. I don't know if you can see on my screen here, there's like an overlay. This is basically what the AI sees as like the navigable play space for it. So you kind of want whatever position I calculated to find the nearest spot on this space, because if you put them inside a wall or if you put them somewhere that's not on this space, they will have no idea what on earth to do and they'll just be stuck. And we really don't want that. So let's stick them somewhere on the nav mesh that makes sense for them. All right, so that makes sense. Cool. The very last thing I do here is just to kind of save myself some headache later. And I attach some teleport VFX because I know that there's going to be a VFX artist that says, hey, the teleport looks jank as hell. Can you please like just add some effects to make it look nicer? So I'm doing that ahead of time, and just like the tornado type, I'm data driving it at the top of the file. So you can actually see it's been picked up right here. It says augment teleport effects. There's nothing there. I'm going to use summon spawn point, I believe it was called, which is like that beam of light that you see when you first summon the Caliban summons. So like if I just call these guys down, you see that like huge beam of blue light.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm just going to reuse that because that's reusing things is what I like to do. So yeah, let's try this out. I'm actually going to reset the level because the guys are in like weird positions and it's not going to be cool to show. So let's do this. Summon them. Ortholists, go. There they are.
Whoa!
That's cool.
They're so
but like
Oh, that
you
is.
you kind of see what I mean? They're shooting so slow that it's like boring. So I'm gonna give them a fire rate buff, and I'm gonna give them some electricity status for the culture.
You know what? If people are using the augment slot, they better get that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
and
what I'm
also,
saying.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's nothing that the augment card level could scale right now, because all it does is teleport these guys. It doesn't have anything special about it. But if we add buffs, then the augment card can scale the intensity, or like the magnitude of those buffs, as well as the duration for the buffs. So it kind of gives us design levers to pull for balance and fun finding as well. So that's just the very next bit I'm going to do. It's really a tiny modification, so I don't even have to like copy in anything major. I'm just going to go back down to where we teleport the summons right here. So the reason I'm doing it in here is because it happens right at the end, and we're already iterating through all the different summons, and I want to buff those guys. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to paste this. Now this is pretty much like, it's legible almost in plain English as it is. It says, you know, update timed upgrade, so it's giving them a timed upgrade. It's saying that the amount of time that upgrade should last for is 5 seconds. The type is weapon fire rate, and we're multiplying that by 20 because I think that's going to be fun.
No, I'm scared.
And then here we're adding weapon force proc chance, so we're giving it a force proc. We're doing add 1, so this isn't percent, right? So 1 is 100%, so we're adding 100% status chance, and we're doing it for the type PT electrocution, which is proc type electric, you know, the electric status chance. Right, so if I just actually save my file, that would be smart, and then do this here.
Oh my god.
Ship it.
Balanced, perfect. Well, people
that's
don't know how to mod for strength because we don't explain modding, so it's not like we're at risk here. Just ship.
Oh, let's go! Totally balanced.
10 out of
I
10.
love it.
Pablo, sorry in advance.
10 out of 10 augment.
Somebody clip totally balanced so I can send that to Pablo. on
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we're pretty much there. Like, I know that like it's crazy, and the fire rate will never make it into the game like this. But basically, what I've done here is the fun-finding part of the augment. We prototype it to be like, okay, is there a way we can make this something that players will love, players will enjoy? And I think the answer is a resounding yes. with
Almost
these
done.
adjustments.
I agree. Yeah, it's
so
very cool.
I'm
yeah,
probably
I
gonna
think
do some
we're pretty much
doodles.
good to go here. I of course have to make all the adjustments to make scaling work so that you can create strength mods.
So good.
This gets even more insane. Maybe even we make the duration scale with duration.
That's-
Who knows? I'm not going to put words in Pablo's mouth, but yeah, there's a lot of levers we can pull, and I just kind of want to show one last thing before I move on to funnier things. Where did we start? Like, this is the spec that we had. Now groups the enemies you hit. Ortholess summons will launch coordinated strikes on grouped enemies. That's not a very concrete spec, and it's intentionally vague. It's like this so that we don't limit ourselves in what we try to do when we find the fun in an augment like this. And you know, I've been talking about like, oh yes, and then I'll go and do this, I'll go and do that. This process typically happens, it's a very collaborative effort with designers. I'm constantly talking back and forth with both Pablo and any other designer working on the augment to find these problems and kind of overcome them one by one. But yeah, hopefully that was a little bit enjoyable for you guys.
Oh, it's very cool.
Way to
That
go!
was awesome.
I
Very cool.
understood 0, but I liked it.
I loved all of it.
Oh my
That was
God.
awesome. And that is augment, and that is going to be the first debut Caliban augment.
That's right. Our
Just
boy,
like that.
Our boy
Ship as
finally
is.
gets one.
Ship it as is.
Yeah.
Shall the hijinks continue?
Are we ready to have some fun?
We've been having fun this whole time.
Some unhinged fun.
I said augment slot, but I meant an augment using a slot. You only have so many slots. If you're going to put an augment in one, it better be worth it.
I see.
Absolutely.
All right. Are you ready, Cristiano?
Yeah, I am. What are we getting into first?
First up is we have one of Rebecca's favorite functions of the dev build, which is morphing the faces of Grenier.
This is my favorite
Yeah, of course.
experience.
Right.
This is my favorite.
Oh my God, what is happening?
We don't need to spend too long on it, but it is the best part of the. And actually,
We have the Galleon of Ghouls event.
yes, if you have been inspired by this dev build hijinks, we have made tactical alerts for you.
What is that image?
Here you can see
is weird.
Galleon of Ghouls. You can play this for real starting next Friday. So a week, yeah, you will be playing Galleon of Ghouls, which is pure hijinks with actually brand new weapons to earn.
That's right.
So-
First and foremost, you are forced to play this with a volatile ogress.
Which means self-damage is back only for this game mode.
Back on the menu.
Which is to say, Galleon of Ghouls, you play, you will get a free ogress box skin. You will only be able to use a self-damage ogress, and you have to help Vahek. I mean, maybe we can hear him. I don't know if you're your audio.
Oh, she's up.
Is the speech slider up?
Tough to say.
I don't freaking
We'll find out. I can do it though.
Right? I don't remember.
Ah, hold
Oh
on.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Hold on. What is it? Voice?
It's I think you just need to go to audio. If you just go to the sliders there, yeah. And then
Oh, it's in this. Yeah.
Oh.
Narrative.
yes.
Slink. Speak to me, Vahek. Hold on. We can hack it.
We can restart.
Yeah, so there is a new Vahek tactical alert where Vahek needs your help, and it's sort of enemy of my enemy. And Galleon of Ghouls is.
The traitorous instigator skulks somewhere on this galleon. Find him.
Oh, the Bisons aren't working. Something was up with them on the dev though.
Yeah, I saw this morning.
This is dev, so we'll fix it. But so you now have a self-damage ogress. That is all Vahek.
They got
gives
rid
you.
of
I
some-
think if you die, he laughs at you.
But why would he laugh at?
You're not supposed to be able to use abilities.
Oh, I'm hacking.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
no abilities.
There's no abilities. There's no gear either.
Yeah, and it's a capture mission, so you have to capture a ghoul who's going to run away from you very fast.
You gotta find him.
And you do have to find him.
Little troublemaker. His
What do you call me?
has a present for you.
Kill yourself to see what happens.
I got God mode on.
Oh, well, okay. Well, either way, Galleon of Ghouls is coming at you live next week. You'll get a free ogre skin and 2 brand new weapons. I don't know if you're have one equipped right now.
Looks like you're not taking damage.
Oh yeah, you only have the ogress, obviously. Yo, Overguard.
I'm gonna die. Don't you worry. If it's the last thing I do, I will die. Here we go. Death becomes me.
Vahek claps at you. So you
Rude.
will be
I
able
love that laugh. That's good.
Rude.
So,
it is
so
not
cool.
solo. You can play it multiplayer. You can queue in. And yeah, there's 2 brand new weapons. The first weekend this runs, there's 1 weapon available. What? Come on!
Oh, that's Reb's face.
That's a Cristiano special right there.
Oh my god.
I have to give credit to Jacques for this one, though. This was his idea.
Right.
Good.
Okay.
Ship it. Ship it.
I'm gonna
That's when she was swinging around the sword.
Beautiful.
Good.
I am
Everyone
not
needs to
trapped
have
in
this.
the oubliette.
She's trapped.
I'm
She's
not
trapped.
trapped in the oubliette. I am not. You can't.
Bro.
I'm not trapped.
All right, second to last one. This was a high request on primetime last week. Was please DE give Ordis a gun.
Oh.
And
Poor Ordis.
we are. What do you mean? The man needs to stand
Don't
up for
corrupt
himself.
him.
He needs to stand up for himself.
Don't corrupt them
pacifist
or
as
this
well.
He's been
car.
bullied for far too
In his
long.
current life. Yeah, yeah.
Far too long. There's a new friends. Oh my God! You spawned them all.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
What are those?
No.
Interesting.
Oh no.
You might have to tune in to PAX East Devstream 188 to know more about all of these.